Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is the second session of what's going to be three. We had a miss, my fault, from last week, so we're doing three sessions of this arc. We're trying out Fading Sun's Pax Alexius, which is technically the fourth edition of this game. This is from Ulisses Spiele, a German company. It came out with a Kickstarter last year. Beautiful books. And I'm going to say this now because I'm going to say it several times throughout the session. There are no indexes in these books, and that just makes me unreasonably angry, given the amount of detail in these releases. So we are going to be kind of looking at who our characters are again, a repositioning where we were at, framing that up, and you're also going to see us talk about doing a level up so we can see what that's about. So what I'd like to do is start with the quick character introductions, reminding us who your character is, kind of their name, their role, and what we kind of feel about their personality, the elevator pitch for your character. So Rod, can I start with you?
Sure. My name is Rod, he, him. My character's name is Lyro, also he, him. Lyro the Mender is a novitiate. Um, I think he grew up fairly secluded in the clergy. Uh, I have him as compassionate and gullible, so kind-hearted, but perhaps not the most worldly of people. Um, I think was there anything else? I mean, I guess
And
he's
and
Mhm.
you're with Sanctuary Aeon, and you have some of the theurgic powers, right?
Right. I have a devotional liturgy, laying on hands, and prophet's holy blessing. So in case we get injured or we need a little divine intervention, hopefully I
Which
can provide.
we might see tonight, since we're going to be hitting the ground running.
Mhm.
Uh, all right. And then Jay, give us the elevator pitch on who you are.
Sure. I'm playing an Ukar witch called Merit Vinataki. They're kind of on a walkabout across the galaxy and taking it in as they go along, and fell in with this particular crew. Uh, him has a force or TK like powers and a martial artist. I've read up on those things
Mm-hmm.
last week, so I'm ready this week. I missed some good things that I'm ready for now.
Okay.
So cool.
And last but not least, Nat.
Oh yeah, I'm Nightstick Nat. He him. Nothing fancy about me. Uh uh I'm a soldier. I kill things. I kill what the officers say to kill. Sometimes the officers are right prats, but uh yeah, and right now some other bloke is calling the shots, and so far I'll keep him alive.
Excellent. So our fourth character is Patrick Justice, who is of the Hazat family, who's kind of the sort of the group is sort of surrounding him linchpin wise, but we're going to put them off screen for today. We'll bring them back in when they return next time. What happened last time is we set up the characters. They're on a ship headed to Pandemonium, which is a Decados planet, one that has some environmental issues. They have had some collapse of their terraforming. And so the population is kind of in a narrow band around the equator and primarily at one major city called Hub. That is the spaceport and so on. And it's kind of packed densely. And our crew had been heading to there because there had been a new sort of jump gate access that had been discovered in system. And so there's a possibility of maybe going on expeditions, things like that. You encountered someone who knew Justice and who was also familiar with Lyro as well, Don Marchenko, who is of the Hazat. He indicated that he has come here to Pandemonium to look into some matters for the Hazat family. And certainly he is coming here on official business, but he certainly expected that there would be maybe some pushback on that, and he hoped to perhaps employ your group to act as adjuncts or assistants to him. He has a bodyguard with him by the name of Boriska, and where we started last time was there was an attack on the ship in orbit. When he went to see what was going on, there were clearly some assassins who had already eliminated many of the other passengers and were coming back, you believe, clearly with the intent to dispatch Don Marchenko. You dealt with the two groups of them, and then with sort of kind of a hard frame to the group heading for an escape ship, escape pod to get out of here, because certainly the alarms for catastrophic damage on the ship were going off. And that's where we're going to be taking up today. So before we go too much further, though, you're going to get a level up. And in the chat, I'm going to put what you're going to get as your choices, what you're going to get as your benefits for this level up, going from level 1 to level 2. So you'll see under class where it says your class type, you'll change whatever, it should say 1, you'll change that to a 2, and you'll get the following things. You will get a capability. Those are down at the bottom of the sheet. These are kind of areas of knowledge. You can leave that open, leave that blank until you want to assign that. So feel free to just kind of put in like new or in parentheses, just something there to indicate that you have that. You will get 2 points to add to your characteristics. I believe that at this point, 10 is the limit. I'll have to check that, but let's just play with that for the moment.
This is the body, mind, spirit?
That's the body, mind, spirit. You get 2 points to spread around to any of those 9 stats. You can put 2 points in one stat or 1 point in 2 different stats. You will get a calling perk. If you go into the folder that I gave you, there is a booklet effectively with all of the perks that says what kind they are, and they'll say calling at the top. The brief version that's in the character keeper doesn't say like calling or capability or class or anything like that. So feel free, as you have a chance, to look through there and see if there's something you want to take. Some of them have requirements on it, and so you can kind of check on that. You can pick that at any time. You will get an additional revival. That's kind of in the middle section of your character sheet. It has the resistances, and then it has your armor, and then it has your vitality and revivals. Your revivals number will go up by 1. You will get...
Does the rating change?
The rating, I don't believe, changes. You will get 3 points to spend on skills. You can divide those as you wish. You will get +1 to your surge rating and your surge number. You'll get an additional point of vitality. And then up towards the top where it says victory point capacity, that will go from 5 to 10.
So for the +1 vitality, I've got 20 vitality rating, 20 current.
Those both go up by 1.
Okay. But the revival only the number goes up.
Yeah, essentially that's the number of like pull back from the deads that you get is what that revivals number is.
Do some of the do changing stats change like what our gold number is for some of these weapons or anything like that?
Yes, it will. This
Okay.
is the thing we can kind of check on those things. This is the problem with this game. There's a lot of figured out stuff. But like your Machao Ripper, for example, I believe is based on right now dexterity plus shoot. I believe that mace is based on strength plus is it melee? Yeah, melee.
Gotcha. Okay. And we have to roll under these numbers to.
Correct.
Gotcha. What is Daunt based on?
Daunt. Look up that maneuver. That is a social maneuver. Pretty sure that's based on presence. But let me see what. I think that's impress plus presence is yeah, it's impress plus presence.
Okay. Gotcha. Let me actually make a checklist so this way don't double up on something or forget something.
And then shake it off is based on your endurance or your will or your faith. So if those numbers go up by any, then you'll change this perspectives like slash numbers in the shake it off.
So I increase my endurance from 5 to 6. I would change that first number from 8 to 9.
That's correct.
Actually, I think I'm just going to put in formulas here.
Yeah. This does seem like a thing that would benefit from some lookup tables, but there's so much already put in this sheet. Let me look up your theurgy things and see what those are based on for you, Rod. So, hang on here.
My mace ability is based on melee or on fight. I have both those.
Fight is, I believe, like unarmed.
Actions. Oh,
And
unarmed. Okay.
I think let me check that. Yes, fight is unarmed and melee is with weapons.
Gotcha.
So Prophet's Blessing is focus plus faith. Laying on hands rod is empathy or remedy plus will. And devotional liturgy is performance plus presence.
Okay, thank you.
Anything I need to look up for you, Jay? You're muted.
I don't have values for vitality rating or my revivals rating. I was going to pull up the play kit to see if I could find them in there.
Yeah, let me look that up. I'm actually in that section where I might be able to find that relatively quickly. So vitality rating is your species size, which is 5, plus your endurance, plus your will, plus your faith, plus your level.
11, 18, 21, plus my level.
Yep.
All right, that's 23 now.
And then revivals. Amount of vitality you recover per revival is actually equal to your size rating plus your level. So actually that will increase by 1 as well.
Okay.
So both numbers for revivals increase.
Yeah, we'll go up by 1.
So what was the capability increase that we got?
You get to add another capability. And basically, those are those kind of like specialty areas. They're mostly to justify that you don't roll with disadvantage.
Gotcha. Okay. And where are the capabilities listed in the book?
They are under the there's a section called capabilities that has some examples.
106. Gotcha.
This has been a wild month because I've been doing this and Fallout 2D20, which is another crunchy system that I've had to learn, which is going to be fun. And I'm doing Crescendo of Violence next month, which is another new system that has some wild things to it, including some contradictions in the rules that I've been trying to talk to the designer about. That are like a couple of things, and I'm like, that's a key element. That's like a really basic rule, and it's not clear. All right. If I go forward, is everybody cool to make your choices and anything they haven't said?
Another 2 or 3 more minutes, and then we can go.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, that I can do. Yeah, so in Crescendo of Violence, there are a number of talents that characters get that give them additional dice of damage that they do. And there's a weapon chart, and each weapon has different dice of damage that they do. However, the rules state that the PCs actually do not roll damage. Instead, when they hit an NPC, they reduce their harm rating by 1, and eventually they run out. And I'm like, okay, so why would you ever take a talent that gives you extra dice of damage if you never roll damage? Is this a PvP thing? Because it doesn't look like that.
Right.
So I have to get that worked out.
Yeah, wonder. Yeah, that almost kind of sounds like some cut and paste action.
Yeah. Well, and I
between
actually
editions.
I actually asked the designer, and they didn't understand what I was asking, and in fact said, "Well, I haven't seen the final PDF. The last time I saw it was a year ago when I turned it in." And I'm like, "Okay,
All right.
I I I may have to actually write the company that is
Right.
handling it to see."
I can drive a tank now.
We'll have to get you a tank then.
Okay, so just one calling perk.
Mm-hmm.
And so the perks are from my my current calling, which is mercenary.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so take a look through those. Uh, and there are some that are open. I believe that that is also a possibility. Let me look and make sure. No, no, everything is a calling or a class perk. But some of the calling perks have open preconditions, meaning anybody can take them.
Can you explain surges again? How
So
that works?
surges are when you are acting and you don't have any VP, and you want to get some victory points to spend to overcome resistance or do extra stuff. You can use one of your surges to immediately get that many victory points based on your surge rating.
Okay, so I'm looking at the battle sensibility. Add your endurance rank to your surge rating.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I will say that
and
doesn't
gain
seem
a
like a
bonus surge
great.
it can be used once per act.
Yeah,
Doesn't?
it doesn't seem like a great thing. It seems like right now, in terms of the number of roles that we do and things, it may not be one that is particularly effective.
Okay.
That's just my impression of things.
I've got that one. Do I have the other one? Sorry. Okay.
It's fun. That's funny.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, just want to check one.
I'll be back real quick. I'm going to grab some water.
Sure. So that is marksmanship.
You right click on a cell, the add notes option lets you paste in a little tooltip.
Yeah.
I filled out a lot of those last week, but
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We get that shot of the ship shaking, of the five of you, sorry, six of you kind of piling into a craft that is not particularly built for this many people, and our Boriska clearly has at least some basic knowledge of how to pilot this, and we'll see that launching off. And we get the shot of you falling effectively into the atmosphere of pandemonium. You can see the ship behind you. There are a couple of smaller ships that are still raking lays fire across it. There are other ships that are kind of moving to intercept. This is clearly an unusual event, and it looks like some local interdiction. At this point, you can't tell who they are who have done this, but that matters less, because as soon as you hit the atmosphere, it is turbulence and storms and atmospheric disturbance almost immediately. You'll be thrown around, having to grab on to whatever support you can here in this, and we'll see you tumble down out of the atmosphere. And that classic sort of, we get that shot through the front view screen of everything shaking, the ground coming closer, and then you will hit. There's a kind of hit at an angle. You maybe see some rocky terrain, some mountains around. You'll clip something. The ship will spin and then come crashing to the ground. And there's a rip and a tear as it does so. Rocks come flying in. The front part of this is bent and crumpled. And I think the next thing we see is an outside shot of this as someone is kicking out the door, just because the amount of smoke, the smell of burnt plastic and metal, and we can see the group kind of pour out. Justice and Boriska have Don Marchenko. You can see that he's badly injured, one arm twisted, and a leg that, by your judgment, Lero, is kind of a compound fracture kind of thing. You can go over and look to it and try to kind of staunch the worst of it. Do you want to make a roll for that?
Sure. This is you said it was Don. It was Don Cherko.
Don Marchenko, yeah.
Marchenko. Yeah. Remind me
Technically
where...
like an uncle or something like that.
Yeah, distant, like a couple removed for you. So that would be treat wounds.
Okay.
Which is your maneuver. I believe right now you have a 12 or less in that.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, I should put up the roller, shouldn't I?
Remind me what to roll.
Oh, so you're rolling just 1d20.
1d20. Okay.
Against that 12 or less, and you want to roll under that number.
Great. I rolled a 5.
Okay. So you can get this bandaged up with what you have on hand, kind of splinted a bit. I think you'll realize, you spent your 5 victory points to reduce the damage that he has. But you can tell you're not going to want to move him for a while. He's going to need to be undercover. He's going to need to be settled and resting for a bit.
Cool.
And Boriska kind of comes over to get your assessment, and listens to you, nods.
I let I let her know not to move in. Um, yeah, I'll look up just to see if there's any signs of pursuit or anyone who might have come after us. And
You'll scan the sky. It's cloudy, weird clouds. What's the color of the sky here in Pandemonium? What do you
huh.
think?
Oh, gosh, maybe the color shifts, kind of like an aurora.
Yeah, it's got that. There's clearly some particulates and things that are reactive that are in the atmosphere. It's a little more like the old Flash Gordon, how they did that kind of weird waterscape atmosphere in the sky. And you can see that there's definitely lightning storms in the distance. Uh, if there was someone pursuing you, it'd be hard to see, but you definitely don't see any kind of ship coming down uh, into atmosphere here to pursue you. And you suspect, given the way you came in, that it would have been hard to track you as it was. What are you doing, Merritt?
Um, so when this fight was happening,
Mm-hmm.
where was Bariska?
Bariska was essentially, as you all went out into the hallway,
Mhm.
Bariska stayed in front of Don Marchenko and kind of kept the doorway held.
Okay,
Clearly, for her, like that was her number one duty.
gotcha, gotcha. All right. So I think as Merritt comes out of the ship, um, he's looking up at the skies. One, at the strangeness of it, and then two, is anybody following us? Has anyone landed near or around us?
And you're not seeing any other kind of escape pods or streaks or anything like that.
Gotcha, gotcha. I just want to make sure we don't have any sudden company.
Okay. Yeah, take a look, kind of wait, watch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Justice kind of quickly goes and tends to Marchenko as well, kind of talking with him while Marchenko is clearly kind of coming in and out
Mm-hmm.
of consciousness. Nat, what are you doing?
I need security. He's first secure the immediate area, uh, and then I think he uh, you know, prepared a little firing nest in case it was necessary, like
Okay.
making a preparation in case a defense was needed, and with no attack imminent. I guess the thing to turn to next is I mean, he's not an officer. He's not he's a sergeant type. So he's not the one who's like figure out where we need to go or anything. He knows to like we're here and he's gonna do everything we need to do to make sure that here is as good of a place as it needs to be for the duration of our stay.
So it does feel like you're surveying like the close by landscape.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have you make an observe roll. That'd be observe plus perception.
Uh, so I need to roll under a 9. That's a 4.
4. So kind of
Do I get VP
taking
for that or
yeah, so you have 4 VP,
okay?
which you can stack. Let me give you some basics, and then basically, if you want to spend some of that VP to ask follow-ups, you can do that. You're definitely in a mountainous area. Uh, you're you can kind of see that you're uncertain about what the weather is going to be like that. You have a feeling that could change quickly. You did pilot such that you guess you are in the equatorial zone, at least generally. It's warm here, that kind of tropical band, but you're in a kind of a mountainous region. You are guessing that you are south some distance of hub of the big city. But I think that's the basics there. Do you want to spend 3 points to ask a question?
Sure, I'm asking a specific question here, like
Yeah,
Q2 style, or
yeah,
or just whatever I want. Open it.
Yeah, that's the way I'm playing the sort of the information gathering, like a little bit PBTA style here.
I mean, the obvious thing that you would ask is, what's the biggest threat?
Right now, it's that you did make a lot of noise coming down. If there are people out here, bandits, things like that, they would have seen that. If there are creatures, they would have been scared away for a time, but eventually they might approach here. I think that's right now your biggest worry is you may want to, probably can't move Don Marchenko too far away, but you probably do want to move off from this position.
All right. Yeah, he'll turn around and say, respectfully said, I think we should salvage what we can from the ship and find a safe place nearby.
And Justice will nod. He'll kind of look at you and look at Merritt and say, "Get what you can out of the ship," and then he'll gesture to you, Lero, and call you over to him.
Yeah, I come over.
Yes, High Captain.
Lero. We'll move Don Marchenko away. I don't think, as you said, he's in any condition to move. I wish to stay with him for a bit before I move, but I need the three of you to see if you can find a path, find a road, find a settlement, find some sort of transport in the area. And you're a Hazat, so I need you to be in charge.
Well, of course. Of course, I can do that.
I will catch up with you, but I need you to once we've got the ship salvaged and moved to another position, I need you to do this.
My concern is the witch. Do you think he will follow orders?
You're a Hazat. I'm sure you will figure out a way to make that work.
Of course. Of course. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just like I just kind of
a long pause there. So Merritt, do you want to try and look at the ship? Do you want to look around in the area to forage? What do you want to try and do here, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, no, I certainly want to salvage all I can out of the ship.
Okay. Let's do that as either survival or tech redemption plus perception.
Gotcha. Looks like both survival and tech redemption are the same, so I will color it as survival.
Okay.
It looks like 3, and my perception is 7.
Okay.
So I have to roll under 10. Yes.
Yep.
All right, I'm getting this. And then we had a roll.
Yep. Here, I'll drop it in the chat here.
Gotcha. Thank you. I thought it was in the. cool. There it is.
So that's a 1.
That's
So that's the worst possible success for you. But it is still a success. So I think you will find that there is a basic like rations kit
right.
here. Basic compressed water, basic food. It's really for what is it, like a 4-man ship, so it's a little bit less, so you're going to need to kind of spread it out. But yeah, you've got that. So you've probably got, if we spread it out evenly, let's say 5 days worth of food and water, clean, and don't have to worry about disinfecting or purifying or anything.
Gotcha.
Nat, what are you doing?
So he's got food and water. I'm gonna scout ahead and find a trail or sign of civilization, or at the very least any dangers or anything like that.
Okay. So kind of scanning the area to kind of judge like where the paths are, where you need to go. That feels like survival plus perception to me.
Well, this is not going to go well.
Okay.
Hey, good enough.
Oh, it's
Got a
3.
I needed to roll under 7. I got a 3.
So I think you can see that there are some trees of a kind. There's some stands of that a ways away that you can clearly move Don Marchenko over there to get under some kind of cover. But you're kind of looking at the path northwards, and you kind of scan the horizon, and it looks to you like there are 2 ways northwards. One of them looks a little more rocky, more challenging terrain to climb over. But you can also see maybe in the distance, like evidence of some old structures, maybe broken down, maybe ruins. And it looks like going that way gives you more cover. Like you're not as out in the open going that direction, but it's a harder route to go. The other route looks a little more direct, a little bit better, like maybe in the sense that maybe there was some roadway that direction that's broken up. It's a little more exposed, but given that the terrain is a little bit better, given that there is maybe evidence of old trails or roads, a higher possibility of people, you're not sure. But I think those are the 2 directions that you'll see from here. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I want to avoid a fight or if I want to seek one out.
Yeah.
So we can commandeer a vehicle.
So we're going to kind of like hard frame. You move Justice and Boriska off to a place that's relatively undercover. Get that set. You kind of got some food together, kind of scoured the area. We'll come back to you, Lero. Do you want to do any more scavenging, look at things, or do you want to talk with the others about what you want to do, or you want to do something else?
Is there any high point or higher ground that I can maybe get a vantage point of the layout of the immediate area?
Sure. I think let's do that as an observe check. So that'd be observe plus perception, with the possible consequences of failure, maybe actually being some harm because you're kind of going like finding a higher place to get up onto. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 3.
Roll 3.
So yeah. And
So that's pretty good. You will climb up onto uh like a bit of a broken rock outcropping, and kind of confirm what Nat said.
right.
I think you will definitely see that uh, maybe there's a glint of metal over in that ruins area. Um, like maybe there's more solid structures there. However, kind of glancing off to the other direction, the clearer path, uh, it's hard to tell because of the color of the sky and the haze. But you think there might be maybe some smoke that direction. Possibility that there's a person or a group of persons out that way. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Right. Yeah. And I will share this information with everyone.
Roy, you the new captain, father?
I am. I don't know if I am either a captain or a father, but I will. Yes. Yes. I've been put in charge. At least for finding help. Uh,
Right, you feel like a bit of a rough hike?
you wish to go to the ruins?
I wish to stay in cover. It's the smart play. If you want to go in the open, we can do it. I'll get you there.
I mean, if there are people there, we could ask them for help.
Depends on the people.
I'll look to Merritt. Kind of,
I think Merritt is watching that dialogue unfold. And then he kind of cocks his head and he says, "Have you been in charge before?"
Yes, of course. I'll tell you what I've been in charge of. But
Charge of laundry duty in the monastery.
exactly.
I think the ruins is safe, if you're asking me. That's where I would go.
Right. I did see some gleam of metal there, so perhaps there is some something we can use.
Until we know more.
Fair enough. Nightstick Nat. Do you prefer I call you Nightstick or Nat?
Well, I've responded to both for a very long time, father.
Very well. Um, if if you're used to traveling this kind of terrain, we'll follow you and step where you step and heed your warnings.
This kind of terrain's great when someone's shooting at you. Uh, Hopefully we don't run into any of that. He slaps you in the back.
Let's do this. Let's take our first break. Let's take 7 or 8 minutes for our first break here. It'll get us close to the hour. We'll come back and we'll start like doing some rolls for the traversal and hiking and such. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. So metafiction wise, the Don, Bariska, and Justice are safe. Like that, they're off the table for the moment, unless something terribly goes wrong with all your rolls, and then everything will fall back on them. But assuming that we get Justice back next time. If you're still out in the field, we'll bring them up to meet up with you. So this is a rockier, more difficult trip that you are making here, heading towards these ruins. The weather is very changeable. You can tell that here in just the couple of hours that you've been here. You felt the temperature has risen and dropped. The wind has shifted a couple of times. And I think the other thing is you would have felt once or twice during your time here slight tremors. You know that this is the case, especially if you get much further south and towards the northern pole of the planet as a result of the problems with the terraforming. There's a lot of seismic activity, which has created volcanic issues further down. So I think what we're going to see is to do this sort of hard route, keep yourself under cover, which means harder for you to be spotted. It's both a survival roll and an athletics roll. Let's start with the athletics roll here. And I think you can use strength to represent kind of pushing and overcoming, or dexterity for agility, or if you just want to like read it as raw pushing through with stamina, you can use endurance. So I'm good with any of those body stats that you feel is appropriate to your style to do that. Let me ask this. Let me start with Nat. Nat, three of you are moving along. You're the military person. Are you out forward taking point? Are you off to the side? Are you moving around, or are you staying close by the others? Like what is your tactic here? You are muted.
I think Nat's taking up the rear.
Okay.
I think he asks Merritt to take the lead.
Okay. Now let's get Merritt's reaction to that query before we go any further here. I think.
Now, see, I think this is best. Obviously, the little lord has to stay in the middle. I think your eyes are keener. You just spot stuff, and I'll deal with it. And I'll make sure nothing jumps us from behind.
I like this plan.
Okay.
I like it when you're in charge.
Oh no, not me. The little lord's in charge.
So I picture this as a side, maybe not we need to
absolutely.
keep this right, but in a side conversation. Yes, I'm in. I will take the point.
So Nat, let's have you make that athletics roll. What is your style for your, moving over this terrain?
This is Dex. He's not just because my highest stat, but he's moving from cover to cover.
Okay.
Doing the sort of the hustle, crouch, survey, hustle, crouch, survey move of a trained modern era soldier.
Then let's have you roll athletics plus dexterity. Or wait, it's not athletics. Not athletics. It's what is our equivalent as for athletics skill here? Vigor.
Vigor plus dexterity. That's 15. A 3.
A 3. So that's decent.
Yeah.
You're keeping your balance. You're moving from place to place. You're keeping yourself relatively undercover, and you're not slipping, injuring yourself, or anything like that. Liro.
I'm also, by the way,
yes.
I'm going to use my ingenious perk now. Once per scene, I can convert 3 of VP into one weird point.
Good. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Lyra, what are you doing?
I will also use Dex, but I think the reasoning is that he's watching what the other people are doing, and if he sees knights, kind of using his agility and dexterity, he's going to try to imitate what he sees. Um,
That makes
so
sense.
cool. Okay. Target is 10. Wow. I do not make it. By 7.
So
Very
now
in
you're
character though.
Right.
yeah. So your vitality would have reset to 20. I think just between things you would have had time to do that. Uh, but I do think that you you have an accident. What do you think it is? Do you think it's do you think it's a fall? Do you think it's something falling on you? Do you think it's something collapsing? What is it that goes wrong here?
I think as we're going up like so much steeper slope, um, I instead of gosh, let's see. I think he sees Nat like keeping momentum and kind of zigzagging to. Well, the reason is that the reason Nat's zigzagging is to get shore rocks, but Leroy just sees the motion, so he starts zigzagging as well and slips on a patch of rock and starts sliding down. Um,
And this is around here, broken up rock, some volcanic shards around here, and I think you go sliding down on that, and it gets sliced up by that, and you're going to take 6 points of damage. Um, some hefty cuts across your arm, kind of cuts into your robes there for you. You get yourself up. Is the embarrassment worse or the physical pain worse for you? How stoic are you about this?
oh, I think the embarrassment is worse,
Okay.
just because he's supposed to be in charge and he's clearly not. The terrain's in charge.
Yeah. So you're down 6. You'll be able to when you stop, maybe do some wound treatment to fix that up. But that's where you're at for the moment. Merritt, what about you? What's your approach here?
I think endurance. This is like a marathon, right?
Okay.
I feel like merit is like we got some ways to go, so I don't need to be showy about it. I just need to endure, and yeah, it's a marathon.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
have you roll a vigor plus endurance.
right. My endurance is 6. My vigor looks like it's 6. Is that
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's scary to me right now, though. I don't know what's up with these ones. I don't understand.
So it must think that you're playing like D&D because it's giving you those. Uh so yeah, you will like you keep the pace that you exactly need
Right.
to make this. No more, no less.
Right.
Moving along here. So the terrain itself is not so much an issue for the three of you here. Uh, the bigger question now, as you move along up and down through this, kind of keeping an eye towards those ruins, is about the flora and fauna and the temperature and heat and shelter and so on. And this is a survival check. And survival is rolled. Let's see how it defines it as. I think this is survival plus vigor as well. Or sorry, survival plus endurance.
A little better.
So let's start with Nat.
Nope. I need a 9. I got a 12.
Okay. Uh, so what do you think it is? Is it that the clothing you're in isn't particularly acclimated? Is it that you touch something? Is it just general like fatigue or something? What is it about like the process of actually trying to survive against the environment itself that kind of gets to you?
In a way that like that causes harm,
Yeah,
or
yeah. You got to take 2 points worth of harm. So,
I
what
think he
is
crouches
that?
down. He crouches down behind a boulder and like puts an arm on it to steady his hand as he scans the horizon, and pulls up, and there's like a fungus that he put his hand right on,
Yeah.
and this immediately starts like itching and burning, and
Oh yeah. Kind of have to kind of scrape and then
yeah.
put some disinfectant balm on there, and it still rains red after that. And then let's have you roll, Lero.
Can I cast Prophet's Blessing to help this roll?
Yes, you can.
That works for everybody, though, right?
That'll be for one person.
Oh,
I mean, can I cast it more than once?
Yeah, you can cast it more than once. Yeah.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Are you good?
I'm teasing.
All right, cool. Uh, let's see. Prophet's Blessing you said was focus and faith. I don't think I changed either of those. So that should be the same.
You get 15 or less for that.
Cool. All right. 11.
11. So that will work. You have then additional the VP that you can spend. Don't forget that when you have VP, you can spend it to raise the goal number of a task. So right now, you're doing that survival task, survival plus endurance. It's favorable because of the prophet's blessing,
Cool.
meaning you're rolling 2d20 and you're taking the better of them. But you can also spend those VP you just got to help you out with that task.
Yeah, I think I will. Would it make sense to spend all 11 or
Yeah, you could do that.
all right. Let's go for it. So 2d20. Vigors.
So right
Oh,
now,
my vigor's 5. Yeah,
well,
okay.
your survival is
9.
3, your endurance is 4, so you're looking for a 7 or less, but you also dumped all of those points into it.
Right. So
Uh,
18.
so right now you're looking at 18 or less. Roll 2d20.
Awesome. Good. Okay, cool.
So
I'll take
that's
the
pretty
13.
good.
Yeah.
What is it like about that sort of prophet's blessing when you do that prayer? What is it that helps you out here, pushes you? Is it intuition? Is it just kind of a second wind? What do we think it is?
I think I just hear like whispers in the breeze, every like, don't touch that fungus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, I think after he got hurt, he thinks he needs a little more help from above. So I think it comes in like little signs and that he sees maybe a little animal scurries that way, so he goes that way, or the wind pushes him this way, so he goes that way.
Catch that sort of intuition there, and definitely feel like you're being guided. Merritt, what about you?
all right. Uh, it looks like I've got a 9. It's
Okay.
survival and
Endurance.
endurance. Yeah, 6 and 3. This is going to be rough. I was looking at if I had any capabilities that can help me, and it looks like Landscraft is about vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was looking at real quick. All right, here we go. Because I knew that was going to happen. I was out of ones.
Yeah. I think that
Mm-hmm.
uh, you are. This is not a planet that you're familiar with,
Right.
and what is it about it that gets to you? Is it your mode of dress? Is it something in the local environment? What is it that kind of catches up to you here?
Yeah. I think it's the. Oh yes. I think it's the flora. Right. I think that I'm having reactions to it. Maybe it starts with allergy type stuff, but maybe now I'm getting whatever the ukar equivalent of hives
Okay.
are, right? I think it's the flora that's wearing me down now.
Yeah, something about it that the atmosphere, there's a lot more volcanic ash in the atmosphere as well. Kind of got
Right.
that acidic to the air. So you're going to take 3 points of vitality.
Okay.
So
And pardon?
the vitality damage you're taking is equal to the amount over the target number that we were.
I took the amount over -1.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is the kind of thing that like armor doesn't particularly help with.
Right.
So, Merritt, you are on point here. You're moving up,
Mm-hmm.
and you started to move through that like more solid ruins. You can tell that this maybe was maybe a fortress or a base of some kind. You've passed through the ruins of an outside village. Maybe even this is maybe a castle at some point, but it has been worn down. Sections just collapsed. The terraforming kind of started to have this issue a couple decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so wind and time and volcanic ash and everything has built up here. But you will bring yourself to a stop because you're kind of at the front edge of this castle ruins that goes on for ways, and up in the distance, kind of out of your line of sight right now, but you can hear the noise of like axes and picks, like workers,
Right. Right.
very, very clearly up there. What do you want to do?
I quickly signal back to Nightstick Nat, hand signals that I've heard something up ahead, and I also kind of crouch down to keep my profile low. I'm hoping Lero does the same, being in between us, right? And then maybe we kind of gather up.
Okay, yeah. I think with that huge survival roll, he's gotten the hang of things, and the three of you can kind of bundle up together.
Right. And I tell the two of them what I hear, what it sounds like to me. Activity, and I point out the distance, but I can hear, and maybe they can hear it too now. The picking, the tools.
Doesn't sound like a huge group of people, but it's definitely
right.
More than a few.
You want to stay here and I run up and take a look?
I look at Lyro expectantly.
Right. Are you are you do your skills include being stealthy and hiding from others?
I'm good enough for the front lines at that, but I'm no ranger.
I do okay. I'm no ranger.
I am definitely not a ranger. Um,
I'm not sure we all should go.
no. Is there one of us who just from our clothing might be more naturally camouflaged for this terrain?
I think you're all covered with dust and stuff. I think you're all kind of equally camouflaged to the natural environment at this point.
Right.
It is probably, at this point getting so that the light is dimming, so it is a little bit easier to stealth up. And if you wait just a little bit longer, you think you might have, still be able to see, but have some advantage there.
Well,
Okay.
as you know, Father, this is Decados territory.
Right.
We can't assume. I don't think. Well, it's all above me, but never known any of them Decados buggers to do anything they weren't being paid for.
Right. So it sounded like Merritt was nominating Knight Sticknat for the surveillance.
Yeah.
Is that
Merritt,
correct?
do you want to take a stealth on up?
I mean, if you want to wait, yeah, like you suggested, wait for the light to be in our favor.
How long do we think that'll take?
10, 15 minutes, you'd guess.
Okay.
At that, you don't want to let too long because you don't want to be doing it under cover of full darkness.
Right.
But yeah, if you wait a little bit longer, you can do that. Roll Dex plus sneak. And I think because of the environmental conditions, I think this is a favorable roll. So you can roll with 2d20.
Nice. Did we decide who's going to do that?
I think we heard you were going to do
right.
it.
Cool. I probably should, but I wouldn't stop anyone else. All right.
Right. And Laro say we'll just say, like all you need to do is find out who they are. If they're Decados, we'll leave. If they look like they might be open to helping, then we will deal with it then. So, thank you.
I'll take a look and then I'll come back and tell you what I saw.
All right. Let's have your roll, Merritt.
All right. My dex is 7. My sneak is 5.
Okay.
Here's 2d20. A 5 and a 19.
So the 5 is success with 5 VP. Put in your pool.
Nice.
You'll move on up a ways, kind of get a little bit up on a rise, and kind of look down. And there is a section of this castle that had clearly collapsed into whatever understructure there was. And there are some tents. You'll see a group of peasants with tools. You can tell these are untrained laborer peasants that are working. There are a few people clearly of a slightly higher station that are kind of moving around. They have sidearms and batons. They aren't like driving them like a chain gang or anything. But they're definitely kind of keeping an eye on the people. It looks like there's one slightly better made, fancier tent, suggesting that there is someone here who's in charge. You'll see that they've got a motorized skiff there, but there's also a couple of carts that are there. And it looks like they're kind of generally excavating. The thing that will strike you is there are some tarpons that have been pulled up and over, and you kind of look at those tarpons, and they're not like to protect from the elements. They're clearly to make it hard to see this from the air.
To see the work being done from the air?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're clearly doing this surreptitiously.
Yes, I like that word. All right. Can I tell what their affiliation or their allegiances are?
I think now this is an observe test here.
Mm-hmm.
You're in good position. You've got those 5 VPs. So if you want to dump those into the test to raise your goal number, you can do that.
Okay.
But it'd be perception plus observe.
All right. My perception is 7 and my observe is 5. Is it 1-to-1 if I dump VPs into it?
Yes.
12, 13, 14. I'll dump 2 in to bring it to 14.
Okay.
And here we go. It don't make no sense.
That is a little wild. I will say the Roll20 roller is even more fickle. But it looks to you like they're wearing that kind of black and silver that says to you Decados.
Yes.
But they're not mantis knights, like nothing fancy. These are baseline Decados, household servant warrior types. They're nothing particularly fancy.
Gotcha.
Does that seem like fair info?
Yes, it does. Okay. Yes.
And if you want, you can make it back.
Yes, I do. I get back. I report everything I saw. I don't hold anything yet back, but I frame it as a work crew, right? It's it's a normal, regular work crew, right? That's what's happening out there. That's my perception of it. But I don't hold anything back. I share the whole thing.
Did you get the sense they're looking for something?
Oh yeah, they're definitely, and they don't want to be found. They don't want anyone above. That's what the tarps are for, to see what the dig is about or what the excavation is about. So we're moving on.
You muted Nat.
What's that?
You muted Nat.
What's the play, Cap? Should I take them out?
How many did you see, Merritt?
So you saw 3 guards. Maybe it might be more asleep intense. You're not sure what the shift schedule is like. There's probably at least some kind of person in charge, and there's maybe a 12.5 laborers. That's your guess. Maybe a little bit less than that.
All in all, maybe 20, 25 people.
The laborers don't count.
They might. I'd fight you if my food depended on it.
Now we just got to take care of the wolves. The sheep will take care of themselves. I do a quick inspection of my my weapons while looking over. Pointedly, not in fact looking over at Lyro. I'm just waiting.
Dude, oh gosh,
checking the sites, cleaning the thing, all that. Lyro, what
adjusting
do you
the strap that holds my mace, my nightstick.
Can we steal the skiff without them noticing, or is it just impossible?
Nothing is impossible.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what Merritt says too. Nothing is impossible.
I mean, it is getting on night. Your sense that from this is that they are split concern with kind of keeping a watch out generally, but keeping an eye on the people there to make sure nobody like tries anything or tries to leave. So that, and Merit's a witch.
What does his Urukar alertness do? I wasn't able to find that anywhere.
Oh, so that's under the species description. Basically, it's that they also pick up vibrations and stuff. They're sensitive to that kind of thing. It's I'm right on that, right, Jay? That's kind of the fiction of it.
Right.
The thing is that you would need to get the skiff and you would need to roll it out. There's clearly a pathway to get down there, so it's like they've had to bring these down, but you definitely would not want to start the engine down there because there is no muffler on this thing.
Okay.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Does it need a key of some sort?
No, these kinds of things would just have like a simple button to activate.
Oh, awesome.
Just
All
curious
right.
because that's my truck these days. I just push this button. I
Or
don't like
you
it.
ever driven a thing like that?
If
So
you have Landscraft.
Yeah, I do.
Transport Landscraft, but you have lore Landscraft.
Yeah, I have lore Landscraft.
Yeah.
So like you've read some books about these things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but yeah, so I say, how hard could it be? Yeah. It's Landscraft, yeah. It's probably fine.
That's perfect. The Pan Creator has blessed us in bringing our skills together. Right.
Right then.
Do we need all three
going in or just the two of us?
Yeah, well, do we need 3 people to roll the craft skiff?
I think it would take at least 2 people to roll this craft up. So you'd have a third person that could assist.
And the third person would have to be steering it.
I'm assuming you can kind of these are so simple that you could just kind of grab onto the steering mechanism fairly solidly and then roll this thing on up. A third person could keep watch, could provide overwatch,
the overwatch,
or could assist with the driving of it to make that process easier.
Well, I'm definitely going in case things go south. I
could go either way. I'm
You'll probably need me to push.
Right. Let me just check my strength. I don't think it's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty weak. All right. Yeah.
You want to hang back here, Cap, and
I think I need to contribute somehow. I'll try to keep watch as best as I can.
Give me a prayer to stay unnoticed.
Right. I can definitely do like a prophet's blessing. Let's see. Yeah.
So who do you? Let's go through. I figure you can take the time to bless each person, but I want to know what it is you're blessing and whether it means you're blessing them to give them the strength to do this or to do this quietly, or what is it you want, or to keep a sharp eye out.
It's the silence, the stealth that I want help with. I don't actually have any. Matt has zero doubts that he could take out this whole camp if he needed to.
Okay.
Maybe he should. I don't know, but he has no doubts from what's been reported. But as far as he knows, the job is to do this silently, and that's not his specialty.
Right.
So Lero, you want to give Nat that blessing?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Then let's have you roll with your 15 or less on the prophet's blessing.
Ho ho.
Oh, weird point, right?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
You
how
get a
exactly do we
weird.
spend weird points?
So weird points can be spent to do amazing things. Or if you're using like a psychic power or theurgic power, you can spend a word point on it to have it do additional effects. So you've got 15 VP. So 10 effectively, because that's your max in the pool right now. Plus a weird point you can note. Who do you want to bless next, and what do you want to bless them for?
Yes, I want to. He'll awkwardly ask Merit if 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 it's permissible for his sect. I don't know even. He doesn't even know what the word would be.
Right.
To accept this divine blessing.
Not gonna hurt, is it?
What was that?
Will it hurt?
No, no, no. It's a blessing.
Okay. Will I feel it?
Only if it's successful.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Let's have you roll.
An
Okay.
8. All right.
So yeah, you will absolutely get that. And what is the specific task? Is it about the pushing of this thing? Or is it about the quiet of the thing?
I think it would also be the quiet, because I think
Okay.
that's what we're shooting for most.
Okay. And are you blessing yourself?
Yeah, I think I should.
Okay.
Or bless
All
your
right.
observation.
Right, yeah. Oh, another 8.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
you're in good shape
You have
here.
so many VP.
Yeah.
Right.
But in the end, your cap will be a 10 plus the weird, which
Gotcha.
you
Gotcha.
can spend on stuff. So well, imagine that the three of you kind of are getting a position, and the focus is on that stealth. So let's resolve that roll, and then we'll take our break so Jay can go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jay, let's start with you. You will roll this stealth roll with advantage.
Oh, nice. So it's Dex and my stealth?
Yes.
I have VP left over. Can I still use those?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm sitting at 12 now. I will spend my last 3 to get it to 15.
Sounds good.
Because this feels like it's important. And here's my 2d20.
Okay.
10 and 9.
Yeah. So that's 10 VP.
All right.
And you're pretty successful. Nat, let's have your roll. You're rolling with favor.
Yeah, so I can spend VP before this roll to
Increase the goal number. Yeah.
1 for 1, 2 for 1.
1 for 1. The only 2 for 1 is damage, I think.
Okay. And then so I got 9 VP now, like, and presuming if I succeed, I can be getting more VP back. So there's not much reason not to.
Yeah, you're losing money not spending it.
That always works out. So I've got the 12 now. I'll spend 3.
Okay, so 15 or less, and you're rolling 2d20.
Here comes the fail. Well, got a 2.
Got a 2. Luckily, it's with advantage, so we ignore the 20. But you do get 2 VP back. And then Lero.
All right. So yeah, it makes sense to spend some VP.
Yeah.
What am I rolling? Observe.
I think actually we're like we focused on that stealth approach here. So I think this is stealth for you as well to finish the hat trick of you all being quiet here.
Okay.
even though he's hanging back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's coming along at least to help here.
Oh, so I'm sorry. What am I rolling?
So for you, it would be stealth plus dexterity, and you're rolling 2d20. And if you want to dump some of your VP
I
into
do,
raising the
yeah.
goal number, you can do that.
Yeah, let's spend like I'll spend I'll spend 7.
Okay. So you're
Oh my God.
so
I failed.
12,
I failed, I think.
12, 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Bad vantage.
Yeah.
So
That's right, bad vantage.
when we come back from our break, we will talk about what happens there.
Nice.
So we'll take a break until Jay gets back,
All right.
which could be 5 to 10, depending on how things go with traffic.
Okay.
So we'll take a break now. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So let me kind of narrate how I think this plays out. Nat, Merritt, make your way down quietly. Get to where this vehicle is. Get to whatever the equivalent of setting it in a neutral is. This isn't a particularly big vehicle. Get it. Wait. Start getting it rolling up that slope. Lyra, you kind of move down a little bit closer in position to keep an eye out. Stay quiet. Cover for them. And they're a good ways up that ramp when there is this beam of light and you are caught in this flashlight and you'll hear this guard shouts halt
And the light's specifically on me or on
on me.
everyone?
They just on you. They haven't seen them.
Good.
And they're far enough away from you that they're like, for the moment, they can't see them. There is potentially a clock on them noticing that the vehicle is missing, but right now they've shouted and they've got you caught in this headlamp, and you'll hear halt, and then you'll hear somebody say, "Priest."
Right. So, what do I know about the how Decados regards the church?
The church is, people are very careful around it. The church is a force. So certainly, people aren't going to just off a priest if they can help it. What do you say? What do you do?
Ah, gosh. Yeah, so I'll wave, I'll wave my hands up. Um, I'll try to look calm and I will take a few steps.
Move forward. Come forward.
I come with peace and the blessings of the Pancreator.
And another flashlight will come out of the darkness. You'll see another guard will kind of hit with that. And you see both the guards are wary, just generally. They see you and they're also kind of looking around. And like the third guard that there is has quickly hustled back to the fancier tent.
Oh, okay. So if I notice them start looking around, I'm gonna try to keep their attention on me.
Okay.
Um,
Like let's have you roll here. You have let's have you roll. I think this feels like presence plus perform, or I think, or perform. Does that feel right?
Sure. It's good. I took the perk comeliness. I don't know if that's gonna play a factor at all, but just throwing that in.
What is Colin? Let's see here.
Your influence roles in situations where your appearance matters are favorable.
Yeah, let's have your role. I mean, you're a good looking priest. You look nice and clean. You don't look like despite your clothing and appearance, you look like a serious person of some bearing, such that they don't necessarily like that may make them more hesitant. So let's have you roll this with favor, and then I'm
Cool.
going to check in with Merritt and Nat.
Okay, cool. Presence and perform. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. 13.
And roll 2d20.
All right, 3
Okay.
and 4.
So you've got 4 VP. I think that 4 VP is enough to overcome their mind resistance, kind of
Okay.
as a group here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they're clearly focused on you. They're clearly going to get whoever is in charge, and they're standing there at attention. Their hands are on their guns, but they're not. I mean, they want you to come forward, but they're not clearly intending to cut you down where you stand.
Nice.
Merritt, Nat, at the corner of your eye as you're rolling this thing up, you see those lights. You hear this conversation. Maybe the lights start to maybe move a little bit, and then Lero continues to talk, draw their attention, and they stay focused on him, such that the two of you can get this up to the top of this ramp.
And I think the way we're doing this is Merritt is like has the door open and his hand is pushing with his hand on the wheel, and Nat is behind, just like heaving with all his strength to push it up.
Yeah,
and I think actually that like
imagine that this is probably like a big golf cart kind of thing.
Yeah. I think the like the moment that Lero gets made, Nat like instinctively like steps back from pushing to like think like I'll go bonk this guy in the head and get him out of here, and like immediately the whole weight goes onto Barrett and is like but we've kept pushing like and now we're at the top of the hill now.
Yeah, and Merritt, I imagine that for you, your pushing is both a combination of you using your physical strength and your mind to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, so the two of you can get this thing. If you stay focused on it, you get this thing up to the top of this slope, move it away, get yourselves set, kind of turn around and look down, and you will see a figure in sort of Decados livery come out of that tent, and she walks with this guard that came to get her. And I think now there are lights on in the camp that you up there can see what's going on, and certainly you, Lero, can. And this woman, clearly of House Decados, walks forward. She's looking around, like trying to see if there's anybody else around, but her attention is mostly on you. It hasn't even occurred to them that the vehicle is missing yet. And she says, "Who are you, priest?"
Oh gosh. My name is Lero the Mender. I am a traveling priest. I go where the Pancreator whispers me there is need.
What order are you with?
Is this Sanctuary Aeon, is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm with the Sanctuary Aeon.
And you'll see she visibly like if she was super tense,
right,
waiting to hear what you said. And when you say Sanctuary Aeon, she relaxes a little.
Good.
which indicates to you that they're probably doing some hanky stuff here. That if you were like one of the Investites or Inquisitors or things like that, that she might clearly be a little more. She will say, "Well, brother, these are dangerous places to wander here in Pandemonium, far away from civilization. Why don't you come down here and we can speak more privately?"
How far away is she?
I assume you're still a little ways up kind of the slope, so maybe 20 yards.
Oh, and then how far away are my compatriots?
They're further than that up the slope. Now you could try and bolt and run, if but that'd be a dangerous thing to do.
Right, right. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I have much choice. I'll slowly start going towards her.
Okay.
I'll say, are any here in need of healing?
There's like a quick look between the guards, and she says, there is a worker who has injured themselves today. I can. That is perhaps why the pancreator has called you, hearing his cries.
Of that,
Uh,
there is no doubt.
uh, well, why don't you come down and be my guest, and I will have the guards bring the injured soul so that you can offer them treatment. And then perhaps you can tell me how it is that you came to wander so far by yourself.
Oh, but I am not by myself. I'm with the pancreator. Always.
Not by myself.
Ah, I understand. And she'll look back and like she gestures to the guards. Clearly, one of the guards is going to go and get this injured person.
Can I
But
just
she
put in for a
also,
quick second here?
pardon, yes.
I said we would not be keeping the. I think we would have pushed the vehicle over the edge of the slope, so it
Oh
was
yeah,
not
yeah.
immediately
You're
visible.
well
Okay,
out of
yeah,
sight. Oh yeah,
just making
yeah.
sure we're not framed at the top of the hill
Oh
while
gosh,
this is
no,
going on.
no.
Okay.
I have trust in your intelligence to have done that. Um, she gestures to the guards, and she clearly like sets the guards to keep an eye on the laborers who have kind of woken up and are kind of
Yeah.
looking like trying to figure out what's going on
What's
here.
happening?
Like she doesn't want them to get all bothered here. And she'll gesture and points to her tent and invites you to step inside, Lero.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I shall.
Merritt, Nat, from where you're at, you see this happen. And you see Lero go into the tent with this Decados noble officer. You're not sure.
Right, right. I'm shaking my head the whole time. He is
So
not in charge.
a point of clarification.
Yes.
Are there other vehicles beyond the one we stole in camp?
The only other vehicle you've seen are the carts. There are hand carts there. Yeah.
So okay, I just if there were, I would have tried to do anything like slash the tires of the chase vehicles so that we're the only ones who get away.
These are no chase vehicles.
Right. How about this? You stay with the cart, ready to peel out. I'll go in and get him. Subtle like, if I can. Hard like, if I can't.
I'll be ready.
So you set yourself up, Merritt, and Nat, you want to try and stealth down into the camp now?
So I don't want to go all the way in right away.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give him some time. I'll give him a chance.
Give him a chance
to extricate himself from this somehow.
That's right, to fix his situation.
Yeah, I'm not assuming that he needs a guns a-blazing rescue right away. But I want to get myself into a position where, like, if I hear a scream or a thump or something, then I'm in, like, and I know where I've got eyes on the guards, and I've got my routes picked out, just ready to go ham if necessary. Or if it takes too long, maybe I wait until everything quiets down and the lights go down, and then I go in a little closer. But I'm not being hasty.
Okay. I think this is still a stealth roll. You are being cautious. It is night, but there are guards and they are alert. And this priest has just walked in out of the desert and they are a little on edge. So let's have you make that sneak roll.
All right. That's a 12. And I will spend 3 VP.
Okay.
Make that a 15. Unnecessary, but I get the points back.
Get the points back. You will.
Is there anything I can spend after a sneak roll?
So what they have is like if you were looking for things or were doing something that would kind of like be based on additional quality, you could spend points for that. Let me see what the numbers are again on that. Hang on one second.
I've got 5 that are going to go away. So, like, if I can spend up to 5 to do, like, ideally what I'd want is to, like, find a perfect hiding spot so I'm close.
Yeah,
like,
a 4 PP will get you a marked improvement. So I think you can set yourself up so that you've moved around. Maybe you're up a ways, but behind that tent. So you're a little bit out of the ring of any lights. You could easily slide down and bust in the back of that fancier tent if you needed to, and you're in good position. Merritt, is there anything I should know about what you're doing while this is happening?
So if I have to drive this vehicle, is that pilot?
That is pilot.
Okay. Well, I also see drive.
Drive, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. There is drive.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. That was my original question. Is it drive or pilot? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I'm looking at if I got to take this vehicle down there to pick the two of them up, what's my way in and what's my way out of there? If I'm doing a drive-by.
There is conceivably you could gun it down this ramp, but you would need to keep going to get and go up another one of these ramps. You'd have to knock one of these carts out of your way. But if you could do that and bring yourself up and gun it, there is that possibility.
Okay.
But that's not going to be an easy maneuver.
All right. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I got some victory points.
Can I have you make an observe roll?
Yes. That's perception and observe.
Yeah.
That's a total of 10.
Okay.
And it's my 1d20. Of course. Yeah, of course. 18.
Okay. I think you don't see this guy until he's up in front of the cart. And like it's as much as anything, it's your senses.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, like you realize that there's something else close by.
Right.
And you look over and you can see there's just a little bit of light, sort of light pollution from the lower area. So you can kind of make out a silhouette, and it looks like there's one of these serfs standing at the front of the vehicle here.
Right.
But it's hard to make out what they are, and they're standing there and they're not saying anything.
Are you here of your own free will?
And you'll see this figure step forward. You see it's drawn and emaciated, and the skin is discolored, and it kind of opens its mouth, and you can feel the psychic void inside this thing as it starts. This husk starts shambling forward towards you. We'll come back to you in just one moment.
Oh, that's a no.
That's
it's
a no.
not.
Hero, this woman has you sit down, and she says, I am Lady Novikov.
I'm pleased to meet you.
Tell me, we are a ways away from the hub. Did you come here on foot?
I walked the rocky path. I think Lara's not a. He knows he's not a very duplicitous
Yeah.
kind of person, so he's just gonna use as much truth as he can in the story. Um, yes, the pancreator led me with signs, whispers on the breeze, uh, and the animals and plants to lead me here
Well,
safely.
good. We have certainly having a healer here, having a priest here would be a balm to all of us. So I would ask, brother, that you would stay with us while we complete our journey, and then it would be my honor to escort you back to the hub.
Um, the honor would be mine to stay and help.
Good. Then we are in agreement. And at that point, the tent flap opens, and they bring in one of these workers who has a bandaged up arm. And she says, if you could tend to this person, we would be appreciated. And the guard says, and the other, and she kind of does this as if to say, shut up,
Right.
and gestures for you to help this worker, who kind of comes over to you, bows, does the gesture to the pancreator in obeisance, and puts his arm out.
Okay, yeah, I will definitely and I take the arm, I just study it and see what kind of injury or what might have caused that injury.
Uh, let's have you make well, this is kind of a checking things out. Let's just have you roll treat wounds, and we'll kind of give you some information based on that.
Okay, treat wounds 12. So I have compassionate, which gives +1 to the goal when I'm helping people.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, a 12, I made it.
Perfect. So yeah, you've got a bunch of victory points. You'll check this out. So you can treat the wounds, and if you want to spend the 4 points to get a better success, to get information out of this, out of your victory points, out of your 12, that'd be cool.
Okay.
It looks like there are marks, like hand marks. It looks like somebody broke his arm. Like this wasn't just like rocks fell and it got broken, or he tripped or anything like that. It looks like somebody broke it.
Gosh, well, okay. I mean, I don't have to ask. I know what happened. Uh, are um this your work is very dangerous here, and I'll look at Lady Novikov, and just kind of say, is are you is this project um one that causes a lot of injury amongst your workers?
I think that we now come to a place where I think you need to roll empathy or charm plus presence. You have comeliness, so I'll let you roll with advantage.
Charm, presence. Cool. 14. Okay. All right. I made it with the 8. And I'll just, come across as an innocent question of concern.
There have been some creatures in the area. This is a wild place, and certainly with enough people here, any predator that is in the area has been drawn here, and that presents its own kind of danger for us. And so that is what we have been facing. She's very half-truthing it. Like, I know you can tell that she is very, very evading, but she also clearly doesn't want to lie directly to you.
Okay.
Much like you, she's trying to tell you as much without panic. She says, so we have been trying to, that's why the guards were perhaps nervous, but I'm glad that they did not cause you injury.
I'll laugh at that. I'm glad too. Um, I understand you must not get many visitors this far out. And honestly, I was surprised to find anyone here.
We were surprised to see anyone come out this far.
As you can see, I put my faith in the pack raider to supply what I need. I do not have much in the way of food, and I'll kind of pause and hope she takes the hint.
We have supplies. We can certainly feed you, brother. There's no
I'll
worry on
bow.
that.
I'll bow to her.
Nat, I want to come back to Merritt, and then I want to come to you.
Sure. Fine with me. I'm playing the waiting game.
Merritt, what do you do?
I shove this thing back away from me.
Okay. Physically shove, or
are
you using your ability?
Oh, that is right. That is right. That is right. Yeah, I don't want to put my hands on it. So yes, I will shove it. It's lift hand, but
yeah.
My hope is I can use it to at least push it away from the vehicle.
Okay. Let's have you roll.
All right. That may not be bad. It's 14.
Oh yeah, you're in great shape for this.
All right, so here it is. I'm not going to alter it. And I got a 4.
And a 4. That is, by my reckoning, just enough to move, because that's not grams. That's supposed to be kilograms there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that is enough to fling this thing away.
Nice.
But
yep,
I think it's just enough to fling this thing away. But I imagine that it flies and it hits with a resounding crunch.
Yep.
And that makes some serious noise up there at the top of the slope. Now, mind you, no one down below can see what has happened, but they'll hear this sound of a body flying and hitting the ground.
Right.
Nat, you're kind of watching, observing. It looks like Lero is handling. They bring an injured person in. You have the sense that Lero's probably talking it up, doing the stuff. You're like, okay, maybe I can move into that. And then you'll hear this across the way, this crunch of a body hitting. And you'll see the two guards who are outside, like, look up. And you would expect them to run up the slope to check where it's out, what it is. They do not. They draw weapons, but they don't go. They're clearly like not enamored about the idea of going out in the dark up there. They stop. But they're watching that area. They're running flashlights around, trying to see what's going on. What do you do, Nat?
I hold. Like, if they go up the hill, like Merrick can take care of himself, and that's when I go in and get Lyro.
Yeah, they don't. At least for the moment,
Yeah.
they don't go up the hill. They hold in place.
And attacking them while they are freaked out with their guns out is not the moment I want to strike.
Fair enough. Yeah. Merritt, you throw it. There's that scratch. You kind of look. You're expecting people to come charging up the slope. They don't.
Okay. Can I see Nightstick Nat?
No, he's on the far side of this, kind of behind that tent.
Gotcha.
Very well concealed.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna wait, but not very long, and then I'm gonna fire this thing up.
Okay. Alero, there's a significant sound outside, and she will stand, and she will say, "Will you wait here for a moment, brother?"
Oh, uh, um, I feel I should come with you. I'll touch my holy symbol.
All right. And she steps outside. You step out with her. You can see there's one guard who's now like got his guns and is kind of watching the workers who are now like really freaked out. Like they're up, they're nervous, they're scared, they're kind of, if they might do something, but there's a guard kind of standing over them. There's these two guards who are kind of watching up towards where Merritt and the vehicle are, but that they're hidden away, and they're kind of standing there scared, looking into the darkness. And then there's a guard that's with this officer, and she says, "What's going on?" And that guard says, "I don't know. We heard something large, like a beast or something." And she says, "Then a beast it is." Yes, a beast out up there, moving in the brush.
I say, I'll take care of it.
She looks at you. You will take care of it?
I was drawn here for a reason. At first, I thought it was to heal, but I think it might be to protect.
All right. I think this is charm again. You're trying to convince her that you should be allowed to go up there alone.
All right. Charm, presence. I'm going to spend some VP.
Okay.
Presence 14. I'll spend 5. Now that should.
Yep, and you are rolling with advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so. All
7.
right, cool. Mm-hmm.
She said, "Well, we'll stay. We'll wait. If there, you will cry out if there is a problem, and my men will come."
I say, I do not foresee a problem, but I appreciate the
She
offer.
stops. She says, "You don't know what's up there."
I'm thinking it's just Merit and Night
Yeah.
Six. So I say, uh, I'm sure there's nothing there that can harm me.
And she gestures to the slope. They are so occupied with this that
Okay.
even though you're going to be walking by the position where that vehicle would be, I think they are focused on you. Nat, Merritt, you see, they let Lyra go, and Lyra starts walking up the slope. Merritt, you're up there by the vehicle. You see that, and I think you hear the crunch, and you kind of look back, and you see that figure getting back up. And I think you see another one walking. They're
All
still a
right.
ways away from you because you threw them pretty far.
Gotcha. Will Lyro make it here before the creatures make it back here?
It's going to be like a close run thing.
Can I signal for him to speed up without being seen?
How would you do that? Would you use your psychic powers to do that? And if so, how?
Oh man. I don't even know. Yeah.
Think about that for a second. I want to find out what Nat's doing, and then let me come back to you. So
Gotcha.
Nat, you see this scene. Like Lero has clearly talked his way out. These people are freaked out about something, and Lero has convinced them that he can take care of it. And he is walking alone by himself up that slope, up towards where Merritt and the vehicle are. What do you do, Nat?
I withdraw. Like, this is accomplished. I'm taking a slightly circuitous route because they're gonna like have their flashlights on Lero probably.
Okay.
So I don't want to get too close to him. So I'm not taking the most direct route up. But
simple sneak roll with advantage.
all right. There we go. 12. I'll spend 3. It'll be a 15 again.
Oh yeah, 12. In good shape.
12.
Like you're making your way around.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Can I spend some amount of those VP to arrive at the exact precise time to like fuck up one of these things with my nightstick?
Yeah, let's see it. So that seems like a significant advantage. Spend 6.
12, 6, okay.
Okay. And I'll get a cut to that. There, are you coming up the slope? Merritt, do you want to try and signal? How
Yes.
would you do that?
There's a holy symbol on the priest, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I pull it. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I pull it. Not to take it off, but yeah. Hurry up.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a role for that. I think that seems like something that you can do. Lero, do you stop? Do you go faster when this happens?
Yeah, I think the pancreator's telling me something.
Okay. So Yank, you kind of go rushing up. Merritt, you see these two are coming towards you, but you've got Lyra moving faster, and then kind of out of the darkness, you hear that kind of footfalls, and then Nat, let's have you roll that strike on one of these things.
Nice.
All right, so 15. Do I still have the VP carried over from that last roll, or did I go back down to my max?
Well, so you spent 6 out of whatever you had, and then you'll go down to your max.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, so down to my max. Okay, I'll spend 3 again.
Okay.
To boost us to 18. Heck, well, this is a 19 because 20 is gonna be a failure regardless, right?
Yep.
That's 76. Completely unnecessary, but
7.
7.
Body resistance for these things is a 4. So you'll have 3 effect after, and you do what the mace does, 5, right?
5 hard stun.
Okay. So if you want to, you can spend 2 points to increase that another 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll slam this thing as much as anything. I don't think the stun effect is going to do anything, but I think the hard kind of is going to like send it, knocking it down. So Merritt, you see the closest one get knocked down.
Right.
Nat, I assume keeps moving. Aliro, you come up. You're kind of like at a hustle up to the vehicle. You see Merritt at the driver's seat, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nat is coming running the other way, and you see this like husk figure kind of stumbling towards him. But do you jump on the vehicle, Lero?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Nat, are you also? I assume you're gunning it, Merritt.
Yes.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Yes.
So, and that loud. I mean, it's a little truck. These are not well kept objects. So it's like somebody took the muffler off your car, and it goes and it echoes through there. And people down below are like looking around, and you'll hear the vehicle. Where's the vehicle? Nat.
Yeah, I jump onto the back.
Okay.
Like I'm like holding onto the back with my gun out, ready to shoot if I need to.
And I
Clearly
think
our cover's blown, so
the 3 of you will peel out into the night, bumping through these ruins, and pass by this thing, and you will vanish out into the darkness. And they have nothing they can keep up with this.
Nice.
And I imagine there is a like, what do you say to them, Merritt?
I look at the priest. What was that? What are those things?
I don't know. I thought it was one of the workers.
someone else's problem.
You may make a lore, an academia roll if you want. There, Lero, since you have a knowledge of occult.
Cool. Okay.
So wits plus academia.
I'll spend 5.
Okay.
Oh no.
You have no idea whatsoever.
I think we should go back. There was someone in need.
And I think you roll out.
A sergeant in motion outranks a lieutenant.
And I think that's where we're going to stop. Is here with you having snatched this vehicle from this little Decados secret expedition.
Nice.
And heading out. So, yes.
Do we have any idea what they may have been digging for?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We could have investigated that. We had other priorities.
Yes.
Yeah. I think if we had a full party and had our character here who is most plot driven,
right,
most intrigue driven, we might have gone in a different direction,
right,
with this encounter.
But you got the vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well played.
Nice.
Let's do quick stars and wishes if you don't mind. For planning what we want to see for next time. Rod, can I get your stars and wishes to start?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I enjoy how people are playing their characters and how we're very different, but we're so far working in harmony, I think. Um, um, so thanks to everyone. Wishes wise, I think we need to see Lady Novikov again.
Okay.
Novikov, because we need a villain, and it's well, if it's not her, then someone to really push us
Okay. No,
to
I
have
think
our
I think that's certainly fair. To have that we can have that character return. It was nice to see your comeliness pay off right away.
yeah.
That was
Yes,
very nice.
yes, there was.
Jay?
I liked seeing the legs, or these characters start to stand up. Right, they're starting to get their legs. We're starting to see their personalities. I like when that happens. I want to see more of the world. Right, we learned something new today. A bunch of things new. So I like that. I want to see. Yeah, I wish for more world lore. I like it.
Okay. And then Nat.
Yeah, no, great session. All of us got a chance to shine. That was all really nice. I'm supposed to look forward to having the full party back next
Mm-hmm.
week. Uh, and being able to reach some sort of mini climax.
Mm-hmm. Anything witches wise?
Other than that, no.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try and bring back Lady Novikov, get us to a point where we can kind of tie some things and uh, uh, hopefully have the full back, and yeah, get to a point that feels like a first arc conclusion jumping off point. I'm going to stop the recording.